Welcome to a sunny and warm Knockhill racing circuit for the final round of the Celtic Speed Scottish Mini Cooper Cup. And after a season of action-packed racing, it comes down to this. Today will decide our champion. 21 points between Morgan Murray, Paul Bell and Ian Munro at the top of the championship. It's too close for me to call. I'm going to ask some of the key figures in the mini paddock who they predict will walk away with today's title. Vic Covey Jr., one of the most experienced men in mini racing in Scotland. You know everybody and everything there is to know about minis, but I can't decide who's going to win this 2016 title. Give us a prediction.
It's going to be pretty close, but I think Ian Munro probably stands quite a good chance. He's won one up here before. He's got a bit of confidence about him. He's got our engine in the car, which makes things even better. He came and borrowed one yesterday, so I would have thought all he really needs to do is just be sensible today and follow people home if he needs to and stay out of trouble, whereas the others have a bit of a gap to catch. And Ollie's in the mix. We all know he can be a bit feisty when he gets going. He's just going to want on races. Kyle wants to win races, so it's going to be who keeps themselves out of trouble. The others need to win races and beat them, and he doesn't, and I think that's going to make the difference.
I did say Ian Munro before this morning, but now I'm going to put down Paul Bell.
David Slay, team owner, predictions for the 2016 title? I can't decide.
I think there's obviously 4 or 5 people there, potentially there. Morgan just slammed down quite a phenomenal time this morning, quite surprised about it as well, so who knows. Paul Bell, pretty consistent, hasn't won a race this season, but done pretty well though, hasn't he?
Paul Bell, definitely.
It's going to go down to the last race, isn't it, really? I think I'm not going to be here, unfortunately, for the last race. I have to be elsewhere, but I'd like to see Paul Bell win it. I think he's done really well this year, and of the 3 real contenders, I think Paul's the one for me.
I think it'll be Ian Munro.
It could be very close. I think Morgan Murray's in with a chance. He's been doing well all year, so we'll just have to wait and see how they get on.
Graham, predictions for a 2016 Mini Cooper Cup champion going to be crowned today?
Yeah, I mean, you're just going through sort of possible winners, but I don't know. It's any one of 3 guys, and the variables, I don't want to put a name on it. Ex-single-seater driver, possibly, but no, not for me.
Sitting on the fence, but Ian Munro.
Sorry?
Race number 1, and you can feel the tension. I'm not even racing, and I'm nervous, and the man on pole position, there's drama already. Ian Munro has had a clutch problem in qualifying. He's not here yet. He might make it last second down here, but at the moment he's not here. You've stuck it on pole position. You're 21 points behind. What are you thinking?
I don't know. It's so close. I mean, I'd love him to come out to make it fair, but yeah, I'm just going to try and keep it in first place the whole way around. And I've got a couple of fast guys came back. Ollie and Kyle's came back this meeting, so yeah, hopefully they stay in behind me, and if they pass me, I'll just try and keep with them. Yeah.
Good luck. I'll let you get in.
Thank you.
Kyle Reid won 5 out of 7 races that he's competed in this year, lines up second. I'll speak to him after this one. I want to speak to a returning man, Ollie Mortimer. I'm going to say the most successful mini driver ever. I love racing against you, Ollie. Unfortunately, I've stopped now and I can't come out and have fun with you. But a good return out in one of David Slay's cars.
Yeah, I mean, the car's not the 100% way that I would want it. It's set up for a different driver, but we're getting there with it. And to get in the top 3 in qualifying is pretty encouraging. So we'll just see how it goes. I don't want to ruin anyone's championship, But a big thanks to GRM and David Slay Racing. GRM Coachworks helped me get here today, so that was really good of them. And David for letting me use the car. That's really good of him.
I counted 5 excuses.
Nah, but my main one's my brakes, so if I run into anyone, it's my brakes.
I'm only joking, I know what it's like. They're great fun to drive. It's such a competitive championship to jump back in. I thought it was a great effort in qualifying, and I know we're going to see you win at least one today.
I'll be race 3 bandit.
Good luck. We'll squeeze past Ollie. Keep coming. Let's go a little bit further back. And still no Ian Munro. These guys are getting strapped into the cars, as you can see, and there is a gap where poor Ian is missing. He's done such a great job all year. He's had a few mechanical issues, and unfortunately it looks like he's not going to make it. I'm going to hand this one to Richard. Minis race number 1 heading out on track.
Thanks very much, Joe. It is Morgan Murray on pole position from Kyle Reid. Look at the blue sky here, fantastic setup. Row 2, Ollie Mortimer and John Duncan, then Michael Courts and Ian Munro. Jock Borthwick and Paul Bell, row 4. Shane Stoney on row 5 with leading newcomer Dylan O'Donnell. Then it's Malcolm McNabb and Robbie Dalgleish. Dominic Wheatley, Mike Geraghty, Brandon Walsh and Alan Patterson. Callum Drybrook and William Blake from Des Wheatley, and Neil Robertson on row 10. Row 11, Johnny and Danny Dreeland, Martin McGeer and Taylor Shand. Fiona Wallace is back. Andrew Bell is there as well. Chris Blackhall completing our grid for this showdown. The 2016 season, Ladies Cup to be decided, Newcomers Cup to be decided, and the overall championship as well. What a programme we have potentially in store. Sun shining here at Knockhill Circuit for the first of 3 races to wrap up the 2016 season. Murray and Reid on the front row. Murray in white with red trim, Reid in white and green. Behind them, Ollie Mortimer and John Duncan in yellow. Ian Munro is on the grid, the lighter of the 2 yellow cars. On the outside of row 3, it's a great start though from Morgan Murray in pole position. Kyle Reid slots in. Ollie Mortimer is there in 3rd place ahead of John Duncan. Mike Courts looks down the inside, and that's what Scotsman. That's Murray across the track, and Ollie Mortimer swerves to avoid him and collects John Duncan, and they're both off at Scotsman. Ollie Mortimer is going to rejoin. We've got another spinner. Mortimer's going to rejoin. There's contact there. My goodness me, not the start that we wanted. I think that's Martin McGeoch who's off as well. Here's a replay. Mike Courts is on the outside line here, and you saw that Ollie Mortimer there. It was Morgan Murray coming back onto the track, and Ollie Mortimer moved across to avoid him. There's Taylor Shand, who should wrap up the ladies' title in this race. Mortimer came across it to avoid, and that just set everything off, and John Duncan disappeared off. Duncan, I think, in with a shout of the Newcomers Championship. That's probably going to go by the wayside now, and understandably we've got the safety car coming out, and time for us to take stock of the implications coming into this race. There are 5 drivers in with a shout of taking the title. Ian Munro leads the championship. Paul Bell is second from Morgan Murray. Malcolm McNabb 4th. Dylan O'Donnell is 5th in the standings. Those 5 mathematically have a chance of winning the championship. In terms of the newcomers, Dylan O'Donnell leads the Newcomers Championship from Robbie Dalgleish, with John Duncan 3rd. He was 3rd. Martin McGeoch's car. That's hard lines for Martin. He puts all the drivers put loads into the racing, but Martin goes the extra mile. He's had the Chaz charity car, of course, this year, which got auctioned off, and has put guest drivers in. It's just been a mega championship thanks to the likes of Martin and everybody on circuit. We're getting ready for the restart. We've had so many different pole sitters. I don't think we've had 2 different pole sitters all year, and we'll come back to that because it's Kyle Reid who will lead them at this restart, with Morgan Murray in 2nd place. Little bit damp in places, the track, as you can see. Michael Courts is there in 3rd place, and then Paul Bell, who is in the box seat here in 4th position. Up and over the start-finish line they go, and ready for this restart. Bell has a 15-point lead. Ian Munro has a 15-point lead over Paul Bell in the championship, who's a further 6 points clear of Morgan Murray. So Murray doing everything that he can. Now, we haven't seen a huge amount of Kyle Reid because he's been working on race weekends, but he has won a great deal of races, as Joe mentioned. But he's not in with a shout at the championship, but he does take championship points. We've got some guest drivers in the field, notably, of course, Ollie Mortimer, who is going to be fighting his way through in the number 70 car and getting on the case as we look at Brandon Walsh, one of the leading newcomers. Brandon 5th in the Newcomers Championship, and there's effectively a separate class for newcomers here, which is a great incentive for rookie drivers and indeed drivers maybe switching over to come into this championship. 3 wide here into the hairpin as we look at Jock Borthwick up ahead of Malcolm McNabb. McNabb 4th in the championship, and in with a shout of taking championship honours here, climbing up the hill. Here's the view from Jock Borthwick. Great view it is too, with the blue skies. So at the moment, Ian Munro looking to extend, with the position he's in this race, looking to extend that championship lead out from 15 points. It all is going to depend on where Paul Bell finishes, and of course they've got to get through with the closeness of the championship points, as Joe mentioned at the start. You've got to finish all 3 races really to secure the championship. Morgan Murray is there though. Kyle Reid out front, looking to add another win to his collection for this year. He's won every time he's been out. Of course, he raced at Donington. He took a hat-trick here in May, and that hat-trick in May eclipsed everybody else who'd scored in the first 3 races of the year, and he took the championship lead. And it would be great to see Kyle Reid do a whole year. He's been racing in the national championship as well, So Michael Courts in behind Morgan Murray, and then Ian Munro's got the upper hand here on Paul Bell once again as they go up and across the line. Ladies Championship, should Taylor Shand finish this race, she will pass the Ladies Championship leader Hannah Chapman in this one, as Malcolm McNabb goes side by side with Mark Geraghty in 67. Geraghty himself in line for perhaps rookie championship honours, and McNabb goes through on the inside, nicks the position, so a good move there from Malcolm McNabb. Fourth in the championship, he's up ahead of Dylan O'Donnell, who's the also winning the Newcomers Championship by 10 points at the moment from Robbie Dalgleish. So that issue as well is seemingly going to go all the way to race number 3, which of course is the reverse grid race. It's going to be have shades of the British Touring Car Championship about it, of course, and Gordon Shedden of course is away and hoping to retain his title this weekend at Brands Hatch. So there'll be a lot of people looking at their smartphones here at what's going on at different circuits here in the UK. But apart from that rather dodgy moment off the start, things relatively okay at the minute. Des Wheatley here, just about to be passed by Brandon Walsh. More for you after the break. Welcome back to Knockhill. There is Paul Bell in 87 now in front of Mike Courts, and that's a significant improvement for Paul Bell because he's tracking Ian Munro. Here's the view from Michael Courts. You can see running in the Balgoni Motorsport, or the Balgoni Motor Company car, teammate to Paul Bell, who's now got Ian Munro in his sights. Munro here though at the moment is 2 points to the good potentially of Paul Bell, so Bell needed that place to stay in touch. He'll only drop 2 points at the moment if they stay like this. Kyle Reid still out front, Morgan Murray in second, Ian Munro in third, Paul Bell fourth from Michael Courts. So through the hairpin they go. The nerves after the nerve-jangling first couple of corners, or the first corner, Scotsman corner on lap number 1, and the run down Duffer Step. I think everybody now starting to calm down, but the nerves will build again as we get into the reverse grid race, because remember, race 2 is based, the grid is based on the finishing positions here, race 3 is based on finishing positions in race 2, but with an as yet undecided position to be reversed. Danny Dreelan in car number 6, dicing with Neil Robertson in the number 10 going into Scotsman corner. Nice wide sweep there from Robertson, but not getting enough momentum to challenge Danny up through the chicane. Fastest lap of the race is actually with Paul Bell. So, well, if I was intimating that Mike Courts let Paul Bell past, Paul has just written that off by setting the fastest lap of the race. So he's running very quickly indeed at the moment, as we still focus on Danny Dreelan. Newcomers Championship wise, Mark Geraghty is the leading newcomer in this one, so Mark is 6th in the newcomer standing, so he's going to be looking to add more points. Neil Robertson still trying to close in on Danny Dreelan, but the race leaders are onto the last lap. Here they come down the hill. Callum Dryborough in car number 30, Alan Patterson in 12, putting pressure on him. Callum in 12th place, Patterson 13th at the moment, and takes a wide line through Scotsman. He's going to maybe try and carry that speed up through the chicane and maybe down towards Clark, but it's Kyle Reid, the race leader, who's going to grab another win and maintain the honour of having won at every meeting he's attended this year. He's got a good lead over Morgan Murray. Murray, remember, 3rd in the championship. He's actually, if he finishes like this, Murray will be tied on points with Paul Bell by my reckoning. So this is going to move Murray up to joint 2nd by my standings in the points. And here they come up to the flag. Kyle Reid takes it. Morgan Murray in 2nd. 3rd place, Ian Munro. Paul Bell is very close by indeed. Bell is 4th from Michael Courts. It's a bun fight immediately behind them. Dylan O'Donnell, I think, has taken 2nd in the newcomers there. Dominic Wheatley 3rd in the newcomers. We just saw going through there Callum Dryborough ahead of Alan Patterson. And Taylor Shand will be confirmed as the ladies' champion. Congratulations to Taylor Shand, who beats fellow lady racer in this one, who's guest racing, and that's Fiona Wallace. Great to see long-time racer Fiona back in the mix. But it was Reid from Murray and Munro who retained the fastest lap. Paul Bell from Mike Courts, Malcolm McNagg, Jock Borthwick, then Mark Geraghty, Dylan O'Donnell, Shane Stoney, Dominic Wheatley, Callum Dryborough, Alan Patterson from Brandon Walsh, Des Wheatley, Danny Dreelan, Neil Robertson, Ollie Mortimer in 18th from Johnny Dreelan, Taylor Shand, Fiona Wallace, Andrew Bell and Chris Blackhall.
Kyle Reid, 6 out of 8 wins this year. If the offshore rotor didn't clash, this is a championship I feel you might have already won. But however, winning races, there's a championship on the line here. There's guys battling, but you didn't get involved out front.
There was a wee knock at the first corner, don't get me wrong, but there's always going to be incidents at the first corner. You've got 26 minis going into one corner. Morgan broke a little bit early, gave him a little knock, and after that it was a clean race.
Was Ollie Mortimer in the boot there somewhere as well? I didn't see it.
I think Mortimer went off behind me, I didn't see it, I was just looking forward. But no, chuffed a bit. It's another win. I'd just like to thank Tim Slay and Barry Holmes for setting my car up on Tuesday night. It took a big shunt in the last meeting, so it worked.
Morgan, we can't decide who's going to win this championship. I still have no idea. You had the best possible start with a pole position this morning there. Kyle taking the win, so he's taking a bit of points off you, but still you've clawed that gap down a wee bit to Ian, but it's tense.
Yeah, it's getting closer. I'm getting there. I'm creeping up.
Ian, your nerves have got to be shot. You blew up an engine yesterday, had to stay up all night putting an engine in which was kindly donated by Martin McGeoch at Cura Connections.
Yep.
Then the clutch went after qualifying,
Yep.
and you've salvaged a podium. Have you eaten?
I don't know. I mean, this has been the hardest weekend we've ever had, I think. Like, me and my dad and my uncle were up to about 3 o'clock last night, back home, and then drove in at 5 in the morning. So I got here and we're just kind of keeping our eyes open. And qualifying was all right, the clutch was slipping. So I thought, we'll try and change it for this because I'm going to get murdered otherwise. And I think we made it by about 2 minutes. And
because I said in the initial programme, when they were calling the cars out on track, you weren't even there. It was the final second you arrived.
It was. I mean, my mum was up on the grid saying, he's coming, don't go. And just in time, we got in it and there was no clutch pedal, and we thought, oh God. And then bled that quickly, got out, and pretty happy with third, to be honest.
You've got to be delighted with third. It could have been an absolute non-score. You had Paul behind you, so you've pulled away from Paul slightly, but Morgan is on an absolute mission. It's starting to look like he's going to be your biggest challenger here.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think he was about 20 points behind. Probably got 4 off me there, so probably 16 points in it, something like that. Don't know. Can't really call it.
Well done.
All right, cheers.
Mark, yet another trophy. That's got to be 2 now on the mantelpiece at home. Fantastic result. A late bloomer, left it to the last round and the second last round to get up there, but another newcomer's win.
Yeah, got a good start off the line, went round outside Duffus and then into McIntyre.
Hero.
No, I had took about 5 or 6 places, and then John had his instant. No good to see a teammate go off, but you have to make good or bad, I suppose, and just put the head down, chase Robbie, got past Robbie, and then I could see hard charging Dylan coming in behind, and I thought, well, and I just really wanted that trophy, and I think he didn't want to really get involved, and he's looking at Newcomers Championship, so I signalled to Malcolm, just go, I'll just follow you, and just pull away, and then just sat behind Malcolm most of the way and just pulled out.
Taylor Shand, I seem to speak to you after every mini race, a consistent Ladies' Cup winner, and the championship's going to go your way.
Yeah, it looks like my consistency has definitely worked in my favour throughout the season. 2 DNFs and the rest have got the 14 points, so it's kind of worked out that I've won it, so I can't complain.
Easy as that?
No, apparently so.
I'm looking to 2017. You've had a great first year, or first full year. We're going to see you back in this championship in 2017.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll definitely be here trying to work my way up the grid.
Well done.
Thank you.
Minis race number 2, and the championship continues to heat up. Let's have a chat with Morgan Murray, lining up on the front row, pole position man this morning. Morgan, things are looking pretty good here. You clawed a little bit back in race 1, now you're lining up alongside Kyle. With a wee bit of contact between you in the first one, but obviously you don't need to beat Kyle for the points. Monroe right behind you this time, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean...
you want to go home?
Yeah, I want to go home. Can I go home? Yeah, it is what it is. We're all going to try our hardest, whatever comes. And you could plan it out, but your plans never work.
You get sick of thinking about it. I find I get sick of thinking about it, and because whenever you make a plan, it just goes out the window within 5 seconds of the lights going out.
Yeah, exactly. It all changes in the first corner. So we'll just see what it says, and congratulations to whoever comes out first, comes out best. You know, so yeah.
Very noble of you.
Yeah.
Of course.
Good stuff, good luck. Let's move a little further back. I want to speak to the championship guys. Barry, watch you for a second. I'm going to squeeze in here, and if hopefully Ian pulls his net back, we'll get a quick chat. Ian, things settled down after a dramatic night and a dramatic race one?
I think so.
No engine changes between this one?
No, we were a bit lazy this time.
What's the plan? I mean, ideally you need to take some points off of Morgan.
I do, but I don't have too much of a plan this time, really. Kind of I'm just hoping I get through this race, and then I don't know.
Honestly, wouldn't trade my place with yours for any money in the world. A horrible situation sometimes when it's as close as it is.
Yeah, it is a bit. I don't think you can plan. I don't think I can plan now. It's just do my best, try not to go off, try and beat them.
Good luck. We're going to spin around and go and speak to our pole man Kyle Reid. You'll notice that a lot of the guys fighting for the championship here don't actually have anything to say, because it's that stage now where what can you do really? It's kind of like a lottery. They're all at the same pace, they're all at the front. It's just a case of rolling the dice and seeing what happens, and a man who doesn't have to worry about points or anything like that, purely here just for the hell of it really, and signing off with a win in the first one. Kyle, what's the plan here? And you said to me off camera you've got nothing to lose.
No, that's it, nothing to lose. I'm just going for the win. It's been a great year for me, and I just want to go out with a bang and hopefully get another few wins here. There's 3 cars behind me fighting for the championship. They can all win it still, which is pretty good coming into the last races, and I'm going for the win. That's it.
Good luck.
Thanks, Joe.
And with that, it's very tense down here. I'm going to hand it to Richard and he'll take us through race number 2.
Thanks, Joe. Kyle Reid on pole, Morgan Murray alongside, then Ian Munro and Paul Bell, all 3 main championship protagonists together. Mike Courts on row 3 with Malcolm McNabb, Jock Borthwick and Mark Geraghty, followed by Dylan O'Donnell and Shane Stoney. Then it's Dominic Wheatley and Callum Dryburgh from Alan Patterson and Brandon Walsh, Des Wheatley and Danny Dreelan from Neil Robertson and Ollie Mortimer, Johnny Dreelan on row 10 with Taylor Shand, row 11 Fiona Wallace and Andrew Bell, then Chris Blackhall and Robbie Dalgleish, followed by John Duncan, William Blake and Martin McGeer. Well, problems on the green flag lap. That is Chris Blackhall, who has some problems, as you can see. Marshall's, as ever, doing wonderful work to get things as safe as possible. And it does mean that the 35 car, I don't think, will be taking any further part. The guest driver, Chris Blackhall, so did nearly make it to the grid, but he's not going to be taking part in round 22. Well, the remaining drivers on the grid, and it's Kyle Reid about to see if he can grab another win. Morgan Murray alongside. We've got to look at positions 2, 3 and 4. Malcolm McNabb still in with a shout of the championship as well. He's on 299 points. The lights go out. Great start by Reid. Good start by Morgan Murray from the outside. And they're going to head down into Duffus for the first time. Everybody away well. And it's Murray that leads. Reid is in second place. Murray is taking significant points here out of Munro and Bell. Malcolm McNabb's there. Mike Courts gets a little bit of a wobble from the number 3 of Jock Borthwick. But what a start by Morgan Murray it is that leads here in the penultimate race of the year, setting himself up maybe to challenge for the title in the last race of the day. Murray from Reid, Munro, Paul Bell is there in 4th. Welcome back to Knockhill Circuit. It's Kyle Reid now in lead position, Ian Munro 2nd, Paul Bell is 3rd, and then back in 4th place, Morgan Murray coming under pressure from Malcolm McNabb. Good wide line from Malcolm there. We ride on board with last year's newcomers champion, who's flying for the championship here, Morgan Murray. But down in 4th place, you've got to say it's advantage to the other drivers. Coming now into Clark Corner. So Kyle Reid is in front of this one. Remember, Reid is not in with a shout at the overall championship, but will be keen to take a win, a hat-trick if possible this weekend. Ian Munro running in 2nd place, and Munro here will be starting to think 2nd place is pretty good. He'd love a win. He's got Paul Bell right behind him. Look how close this is. Shane Stoney on the outside line of Jock Borthwick coming out of the hairpin. A wide line there from Danny Dreelan over the dirt, back on circuit. What a great shot that is, just showing you how many cars there are racing in the Celtic Speed Scottish Mini Cooper Cup. and they're all squabbling over position in the early stages of this one, the penultimate race of the year, round 22. We've had different pole sitters at each round this year. It's been that competitive. And 33 is Dylan O'Donnell challenging Dominic Wheatley. Dylan significantly is ahead of Robbie Dalgleish. By my maths, will take the rookie championship or the newcomers championship at this race. Oh, look at that as John Porthwick gets it sideways there. Shane Stoney trying to go up the inside, back to the race leaders. Kyle Reid still there from Ian Munro. Then in third place it's Paul Bell. Dylan O'Donnell off onto the dirt there in the 33. Rejoins the circuit. Here's the view from Paul Bell. Munro's going for the lead, tags the back end of Kyle Reid, and Paul Bell's going to come through into the lead, bang, into the side of Munro. Here's the view from Morgan Murray, who's weaving his way through. Bang! Into the back of Kyle Reid. Reid is off. Spins around the barrier. A heavy hit. Not what we wanted to see. Surely that will result in judicials. It's going to turn the championship upside down. Was that a chain reaction? It was originally Ian Munro who was looking at the inside line for the lead. He tagged Kyle Reid in the white and green car. Reid seemed to get it together after that, but then got tagged by the man now leading the race, Morgan Murray. Now the question is, are the officials going to think that Morgan Murray was to blame for that? Certainly the first thing that went wrong was Paul Bell making contact with Kyle Reid coming down into the hairpin. Well, who'd want to be a race official? I certainly wouldn't on that. They're going to have to look at the evidence and we'll see how it pans out. But for the moment, on track, it's the 11 car of Morgan Murray, the race leader. We need to see where Ian Munro is. I'm looking for a yellow car backup shot. I can't see one. Does this mean that Morgan Murray will take the championship lead coming into the last race of the year? He's leading this one and potentially on for the 25 points that goes with it. Malcolm McNabb trying to keep his championship hopes alive as well. We've got waved yellows there for Kyle Reid's car, which is stranded on the inside. Up the hill they go. Fastest lap of the race is with Dominic Wheatley. He's up with the front group as well. What a dramatic end. I seem to say that every year. We didn't last year, obviously Kenny Thirlwall wrapped it up early, but so many times in the past we've said that. And Dominic Wheatley getting involved here. There is Paul Bell in 87, who I can't work the points out now because it'll be 25 provisionally to Morgan Murray, 20 to Malcolm McNabb, which will put Malcolm on to 295. Malcolm will be more than 25 points behind Morgan Murray, and I don't think we'll be in with a shout at the championship after this, so it will come down to Paul Bell, Ian Munro and Morgan Murray. But of course Paul Bell is a way down. He's going to have to start. I can't see a yellow car in shot, so Bell is going to be on the back foot for the last race. Ian Munro, I beg your pardon, will be on the back foot for the last race as Murray and McNabb go through. Mark Geraghty at the moment is running in third place from Paul Bell. My goodness me, there are, I think, are going to be words in the clerk of the course's office here at Knockhill. So this is the view from Ian Munro. As you can see, Munro is struggling. He's not going into pits. Goes past Kyle Reid's car, and he's trying to nurse the car home to get the finish. If he finishes in the top 15, he'll get championship points. But that potentially is championship over for Munro, because remember, if he's at the back of the field for this one, he'll be at the back of the grid for race 3, and he'll have an awful lot of work to do. So race leader then, Morgan Murray, Malcolm McNabb piling the pressure on. We'll see whether Malcolm can squeeze past him. Malcolm's won races before, and one of the top rated drivers coming into this year's championship. Mechanically hasn't always gone the way that he would have liked, as Shane Stoney gets squeezed here at the moment by Dom Wheatley, who's got the fastest lap up the inside line. John Borthwick challenging those as well. We've still got Dylan O'Donnell up ahead of Robbie Dalgleish, so Dylan, I think, will win the newcomers championship in this race. So we'll have had two of the issues sorted out, getting very tight between Stoney and coming through there, the number 70 car of Ollie Mortimer. Mortimer not getting points, of course, as a guest driver. But what a drive from the three-time Celtic Speed Scottish Mini Cooper Cup winner, Ollie Mortimer, who's come through. And there is Ian Munro into pit lane and presumably into retirement. It's going to be a back-of-the-grid start for Munro in race number 3. But Morgan Murray, who provisionally, and I stress that, will provisionally take the championship lead here with this win ahead of Malcolm McNabb if he can hold on to it. It's still close. McNabb is challenging hard. Mark Geraghty in third, Paul Bell fourth from Mike Courts, then Dominic Wheatley. Geraghty is the top newcomer here again, so Geraghty's putting himself up into the sharp end of the trophies in the Newcomers Championship this weekend, really getting to grips with it, and he'll carry that momentum forward to next season, I'm sure, as long as he can maintain it in race 3 as well. So after huge drama in our penultimate race of the year, what on earth is the third race going to bring forward? We're watching the cars battling over third place. Mark Geraghty holds it at the moment from Paul Bell. Then it's Michael Courts, Dominic Wheatley in behind as well. Wheatley with the fastest lap, has been a terrific newcomer this year. Wheatley, I think, will finish third in the newcomers standings behind Robbie Dalgleish. Out of Clark they come, and we just switch back. Shane Stoney chasing the number 70 of Ollie Mortimer, 7th and 8th, and Dylan O'Donnell is behind those on his way to the Newcomers Championship as Paul Bell comes out of the hairpin and they head up the hill once again and onto the last lap. It is, by the look of it, going to be Morgan Murray, but we'll see whether Malcolm McNabb can hunt him down. So McNabb, who's oddly, I think, not had a win this year. He's just not had the mechanical luck with him at the right time to take it. We've seen some good driving from McNabb over the course of the season. We're seeing that again. He's challenging Murray. Look at the gap that they've got over the third position car, Mark Geraghty ahead of Paul Bell. Bell is still, I think, going to be in with a shout of the championship. Bell will pick up 14 points here. It'll be 25 for Morgan Murray. As we say, assuming the result stands, and there will be a judicial on that, I feel sure. But we'll confirm things going into race 3 for you. That's the best way of handling that. But here is Morgan Murray, who is going to come out of the hairpin ahead of Malcolm McNabb. Murray will take it. There is the checkered flag. Morgan Murray takes the flag. Malcolm McNabb follows him across the line. It's Mark Geraghty next. Then Paul Bell, Michael Courts, Dominic Wheatley, Ollie Mortimer just gets the better of Shane Stoney, and then Dylan O'Donnell. Congratulations to Dylan, provisionally the Newcomers champion here at Knockhill Circuit. Well, superb field. Sad to see damaged cars, of course. Kyle Reid there parked up on the infield. We saw the retirement of Ian Munro as well. Just the two retirees in that race as Brandon Walsh comes across the line. And here is the result. Subsequent to the result, Murray was removed from the result. So Malcolm McNabb the winner from Mark Geraghty and Paul Bell. Mike Courts and Dominic Wheatley from Ollie Mortimer, Shane Stoney, Dylan O'Donnell, Jock Borthwick, Callum Driver 10th. Then Robbie Dalgleish, John Duncan, Danny Dreeland from Neil Robertson, Taylor Shand next from Alan Patterson, Andrew Bell, Fiona Wallace, Johnny Dreeland, Des Wheatley 20th, and Brandon Walsh in 21st. Fastest lap to Dominic Wheatley.
Mark, you should sleep in a motorhome with Martin McGee all the time if this is the results we get the next day.
Well, yeah, no, we wear separate sleeping bags, so...
It's quite a small camper van, to be fair, but anyway, to the racing, what a great result. Third place overall this time. A trophy, but a top 3 trophy.
Yeah, no, it was good to finally get on the main kind of podium, but as you always say, it always quickly wears off, so I'll be looking for the next step up. But no, we managed to get Paul. I thought Paul would be kind of charging on, but
I think he was carrying damage. I've not seen him yet.
Yeah, there was obviously a coming together, and obviously Kyle into the barrier, stuff like that, all just kicked off in front, and then yeah, there was a little bit of carnage, but as always. But no, it was certainly picked up the pieces.
Malcolm, the invisible man, I'm going to call you now. I was so focused on the front, it all kicked off, and all of a sudden everyone was like, "Who's that?" And it was Malcolm, pouncing as ever, always waiting to maximise the point situation. What does it do championship-wise?
I actually got no idea. I know that I lost points to all the 3 guys in front in the first race. We just had a nightmare in qualifying. The ABS failed on lap 2, so P11 was all I could manage, so trying to come back through and rescue it once again. So I got a bit up, obviously Paul, Ian, Moggs finished in front of me. so that gapped it out a bit more. But with Ian and Paul failing to finish there, yeah,
you still could be mathematically in the hunt.
I don't think I'm in the hunt for the title, but certainly I'm back in the hunt for the top 3, I think.
Taylor, yet again, another ladies' win, and you managed to stay out of the drama. I take it every time you came round you saw another car parked at the side of the road with bits missing?
Yeah, no, I did. Usually I am right behind the drama, but it wasn't near me, so I managed to concentrate on my own driving, not have to worry about really what's going on. I feel like that's the best I've ever driven. Went from 20th to, I think I counted 15th coming up the back, which I can only give myself a pat back for. So.
Well done, and this sets you up nicely for next year.
Yes, definitely. It gives me the confidence in the car and myself to just get out and do it. I know I can do it. It's so mentally, it's hard to actually do it behind the wheel. So we'll see.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Race number 3 for the Scottish Mini Championship. This is what it comes down to. It's the final race of the year for the championship. Still 3 in contention, but drama after race 2. The incident with Morgan Murray and Kyle Reid was investigated. The stewards felt that Morgan Murray was to blame and have excluded him, taken his points off of him for race number 2 and put him to the back of the grid for this race, which now puts Paul Bell in prime position, just 1 point behind Ian Munro in the championship, starting 4th when Ian Munro's starting right at the back. It's all up for grabs. Before I speak to Paul, I'm going to swing around, open this door and let you in to speak to a man we spoke to briefly this morning, but someone who's very familiar with the front of a mini grid. It's my best friend, Ollie Mortimer. Ollie, this has worked out nicely for you.
Well, considering where I was in the gravel trap this morning, I can't believe I'm on pole.
A hell of a comeback that we missed in race 2 to get that reverse grid up to 7th.
Yeah, I mean, I was quite robust in doing it. My brakes are still really bad, so I apologise to everyone that I brushed across the side of. It's just due to my brakes. But yeah, 7th was brilliant, really chuffed with that. Good fun race as well. So we'll just see what we can do here. I've got to watch because I've got my teammate and probably my ex-old mate Dominic Wheatley behind me, so we'll see how that goes.
Good luck, Ollie.
Thanks very much.
Right, let's move back. I want to speak to the man who is in the best position. I'm never getting through there. I'll go around this way. In the best position to win this championship. So juggle past these guys. Paul Bell starting 4th. Keep coming back. Vic, could you open that door? And I'll come around this side. Paul Bell, I don't know what to say to you, mate. Horrible feeling. You've worked really hard to get here. 10 minutes could be a pretty big 10 minutes for you.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting 10 minutes. I'm not entirely sure what's all going to kick off here, but definitely it's going to be a good one.
I've worked quite closely with you, and I'm going to get a bit emotional here, but I've watched you come on with this, and I feel like what I see racing dads pacing up and down, and by no way are you my son, but I feel very nervous, I feel very sick, and you're so close to doing this.
Joe, you were a great mentor, and I attribute this to you. If I can do
no, that's not what I'm getting at. It's just nice to see the progress you've made. It's fantastic. This could be your championship.
I would love that to happen, and let's see what will happen in the next 9 laps.
Give it your best.
I will do.
And with that, I'll send them out on track. Richard, for the final time in 2016, here come the minis.
Thanks very much, Joe. I think there'll be some gaps here on the grid. Shane Stoney should be on pole, Ollie Mortimer, then Dom Wheatley and Mike Courts, then Paul Bell, Mark Geraghty, row 3, Malcolm McNabb and Dylan O'Donnell next, row 5, John Borthwick and Callum Dryborough, Robbie Dalgleish and John Duncan, followed by Danny Dreelan and Neil Robertson, Taylor Shand and Alan Patterson, row 8, then Andrew Bell and Fiona Wallace, Johnny Dreelan and Des Wheatley, followed by Brandon Walsh, Ian Munro, Kyle Reid, Chris Blackhall, William Blake, Martin McGeer and Morgan Murray at the back. As I say, a few drivers that we're not expecting to take the start. It's been a physical meeting. Just to say that, as you heard from Joe, Morgan Murray excluded from race 2. That means that Malcolm McNabb took the win. He's on 300 points. I make it that 4 drivers can win the championship. The lights are on, away we go, and it's a cracking start from Ollie Mortimer, the triple champion, who leads here. He's a guest driver. He's not in this year's championship for points. It's a gift horse for him, isn't it? Starting from a lone front row. Look, he's already pulling ground on the drivers contesting 2nd and 3rd place, but we need to keep our eyes open for Ian Munro, who's off the back. Realistically, of course, still in with a shout as well is Morgan Murray, who's on 299 points. So let's put the perspective on the points as the big sort out happens. Munro on 316, Bell 315, McNabb 300, Murray on 299. 25 points up for grabs. There is Morgan Murray with Ian Munro looking up the inside line. Wasn't quite room there. These two still vying for the championship. Of course, Munro has 17 points, a 17-point advantage over Morgan Murray with the disqualification of Murray in that previous one. And as I said, who would honestly want to be an official in a situation like that? Here comes Monroe round the outside line. Murray's on the inside. Ian might go for the flick up the inside line, and he's going to try and get the run up the hill, gets squeezed across. Murray just chops across and grabs the position from him. It's Ollie Mortimer out front though at the moment, getting away. There is Paul Bell, maybe champion-elect here. He's a point down on Monroe, but remember the points only extend to the top 15 drivers, so Bell really just needs to effectively coast home. Mark Geraghty ahead of him. Dominic Wheatley in the 4 is running in 3rd place. Michael Courts having a good run ahead of them, as well as the race leader comes over the brow and will go down the hill. We've got the driving standards flag out. Can't see from this angle who is picking that up, but there will be a penalty if needs be for the driver concerned. And let's just go back to race 2 and say well done, of course, to Malcolm Nabb on taking a win. I think his first win since the return to the Formula, and it keeps him in the championship. Oh, across the track goes Des Wheatley. That could have been worse. It's bad enough for Des. Nudging the tyre wall could have collected somebody, but Des Wheatley not necessarily out of the race. He might be able to rejoin from there as we pick up on Ian Monroe, still chasing hard. So here's the view from Ian working his way through the field. To be fair, from the back of the grid, I mean, bear in mind we've got 26, 27 cars racing this weekend, so to get into the top 15 from the back is not an easy thing to do. So Monroe really now looking to try and just consolidate 2nd place in the championship. He's up ahead of the ladies champion there, Taylor Shand. Taylor Morgan Murray takes the spin. Murray spins. Ian Monroe goes through, very nearly contact there, and Murray, that is definitely him going to be out of the championship. It's going to come down to Paul Bell. We need to Paul Bell and Ian Monroe. We need to keep our eyes on them. It just goes to show how easy it is to spin these cars. And I make the point really quite frequently about how these drivers tend to make it look so easy. It's flat out. You very rarely see, we see the spinner in this one, of course, but you very rarely see the cars disappear off the circuit, and the drivers do make it look easy, but they are on the edge and they can throw it away. So Paul Bell, with the pressure that he's under, and it's really, really big pressure here because he knows he's got to finish the race. He's going to dip down the inside line here and go through. So Bell goes through, makes up another position. He's driving well. You've got to say he's been so consistent, but more importantly, he's been fast, Paul Bell, the 87 car. He has not had a non-finish all year. He's had a couple of lowly finishes, but he's kept it on track the entire time. There is Dylan O'Donnell in 33, up ahead of Kyle Reid, who's working his way through the pack. Reid, of course, non-finisher in race. Look how many cars Reid has got past all of these boys, and indeed Taylor as well. Taylor Shand, as we're looking at the 98 car of Brandon Walsh coming under pressure from Ian Monroe. Monroe here just trying to move through. Malcolm McNabb's in the point, so McNabb should secure 3rd in the standings ahead of Morgan Murray. So Malcolm, who was 3rd in the championship in 2012 behind David and Tim Slay, so he's no stranger to standing on the overall championship podium with some great drivers in the past. There is Kyle Reid coming through in car number 20, who's on a real charge through from the back of the field, the white and green car. What we would give to see Kyle Reid in a full campaign. What a championship that would be. John Duncan's pit board goes out. He's running in 9th place. We're on to the last lap. Mark Geraghty's running in 2nd at the moment behind Ollie Mortimer. There in the mix is Dominic Wheatley, and the race leader is Ollie Mortimer, who's going to pick up the win, but Paul Bell in 87 is going to be champion here. Bell is in 3rd place. He will pick up 20 championship points. It's a 2nd position, points paying position for Bell, but he will extend or take the championship lead and extend it over Ian Monroe. Monroe has got through into the points, but here is Ollie Mortimer, who's going to win the race. The treble champion will win the race, and Mortimer is well clear. He's about 6 seconds clear of the field and comes out of the hairpin in the David Slay Racing prepared car up the hill. Here's the checker. Mortimer wins round 23 of the championship. Mark Geraghty is running in 2nd, but the new champion, Paul Bell, is going to cross the line in 3rd. There is Bell in 3rd place, who takes the 2016 Celtic Speed Scottish Mini Cooper Cup Our congratulations to Paul Bell. Ian Munro is going to be have some consolation by taking second position in the table from Malcolm McNabb. Malcolm McNabb will finish third in the standings. McNabb finishing that race classified in 11th, but here's the result. Mortimer from Mark Geraghty, Paul Bell, Mike Courts, Dylan O'Donnell from Kyle Reid, Dominic Wheatley, John Duncan, Robbie Dalgleish and Callum Dryborough, Malcolm McNabb next from Brandon Walsh, Ian Munro from Neil Robertson, Danny and Johnny Dreeland from Alan Patterson, Taylor Shand, Fiona Wallace, Andrew Bell in 20th. Des Wheatley recovered from the gravel for 21st. Fastest lap of the race on a great drive through the field for Kyle Reid. But congratulations to our new champion, and that is Paul Bell.
Paul Bell, 2016 Mini Cooper Cup, Celtic Speed Mini Cooper Cup champion. Unbelievably well this year. You didn't win a race, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you are the champion.
Thank you very much. Yeah, what a season it's been. Like I say, never won a race, but always been thereabouts, seconds, thirds. Such a reliable car. Obviously the Balgony Motor Company car, run by LM. Cracking job by the team. Kept me consistent. I don't think we actually DNF'd due to mechanical all year. We just pushed on and grabbed the points when they were there, made the places when we could, and went forward.
Coming into this morning, you were 17 points behind Ian Munro. I had a feeling it could come your way, but you drove so well throughout the day. Out of all of them, the most consistent point scorer.
A couple of folk have said that to me. Just consistency obviously was the key with the whole championship. Yeah, what else can I say? I mean, I'm really pleased.
Also, the prize for this championship is a test with Team Dynamics in their British Championship Mini, which will be held at Donington, date to be confirmed. You look surprised by that, but again, that's going to be a good opportunity to drive an R36 Mini.
Right, I did not know that. It's news to me. That's good news, yeah. I like that. I like the sound of that. That'll be really good.
Well done, Paul. It's been a pleasure watching it, and we look forward to seeing the number 1 plate on the car next year.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
And with that, it brings the Mini Championship to a close, but you can't ask for any more of a dramatic finish than that. Paul Bell clinching the championship in the final laps of the final race. Action all year long. Please make sure you tune in 2017 for more of the same.
Third place today, but he's also your champion. It's Paul Bell! We're watching the cars battling over third place. Mark Geraghty holds it at the moment from Paul Bell.